front of you, ready to mark our homework. Number 1, what happens when Ji-chan comes to the city? He does not know where he is. He cannot remember his stories. He sees the old bridge has fallen down, or he hurts himself by falling off his bicycle. Nuna?
He does not know where he is.
Correct. So the answer is A. He doesn't know where he is, so he gets a bit confused. So when he goes to the city, he doesn't recognize any of the streets because there are so many buildings around, and all of the usual places that he is aware of or recognizes, they look completely different. Number 2, why does the truck driver honk his horn at Ji-chan? To say hello to Ji-chan? To make Ji-chan move out of the way? To tell other cars to make room for Ji-chan? Or to let Ji-chan know that he remembers him? Okay, Mooney, can you go ahead?
G, to make Ji-chan move out of the way.
Good girl. So they are asking him to move out of the way. They're blasting their horn saying, move out of my way. I'm trying to get through. It's quite rude, really. Number 3, why were the trees in the park chopped down? A, to make a new bridge into town. B, to make roads for the cars and trucks. C, to make a place for the storyteller to stand. Or D, to make room for the shops and restaurants. What do you think? Jenny?
D, to make room for the shop and restaurant.
Good job. It was to make room for shops and restaurants because Ji-chan says on page 326, who needs so many different restaurants? Who's going to be eating at all of these restaurants? Number 4, can you read all of it for me? So the question and the answer options. Daisy.
Which word best describes the feeling created by the illustration on page 327? F, anger. G, excitement. H, fear. And I, loneliness.
Loneliness. Kitty, what do you think the answer is for number 4, please?
I think the answer for number 4 is I, loneliness.
Good girl. So that picture on page 327 is the one we talked about yesterday. So Ji-chan is stood in front of a wall. He's the only person in the picture, and all around him is nothing, an emptiness. So it's trying to create a feeling of loneliness for Kamishibai man. Number 5, why does Ji-chan clap 2 wooden blocks together? A, to tell the children he is there to tell stories. B, to show he is angry that the trees are gone. C, to warn people to stay away. Or D, to keep time with a song. Fred, what do you think?
I think to tell the children he is there to tell stories.
Very good, well done. It's to tell the children that he's there. So he claps his wooden blocks together to tell children he is there to tell stories. Number 6, Kaki, can you read all of that for me, please?
Which of the following best describe what you learned from the illustration on page 333? Where F, where the people go to work. G, how angry Ji-chan is at the people. H, what kind of games the children like to play. I, that the townspeople are very excited about the television, but Ji-chan is less so.
Good girl. Thanks, Kaki. That was great reading. What do you think the answer is? Dami, can you take over here?
That the townspeople are very excited about the television, but Ji-chan is less so.
Good job. This is our answer. The townspeople are really excited. They're gathering around the store that is selling televisions, but Ji-chan doesn't really care. He's not interested in having a television like everyone else. Okay, number 7. What happened when the poor boy was the only child to come to the park? Ji-chan told the boy to go home. Ji-chan gave the boy some candy. Ji-chan told the boy's favorite story. or Ji-chan watched television at the boy's house? Nancy, what do you think?
Ji-chan told the boy's favorite story.
Yes, correct. When the lonely and poor boy was the only child to come to the park, Ji-chan decided to tell him his favorite story. Number 8, why did Ji-chan stop telling stories so many years ago? F, nobody wanted to eat his candies. G, the city became noisy and crowded. H, the children stopped coming to see him. Or I, he wanted to watch TV instead of telling his stories. Banshee, what do you think is the answer for that one?
I think the answer for that one is the children stopped coming to see him.
Good job. So unfortunately, everyone got so wrapped up in watching television. Television was moving pictures and cartoons. It was a brand new invention and everyone became quite obsessed with it. So unfortunately, everyone lost interest in Ji-chan's stories, so he stopped telling them. Okay, number 9. Which word best describes the feeling created by the illustration on page 340? A, calmness, B, excitement, C, sadness, or D, surprise? Kuhn, what do you think the answer is here?
I think it's calmness.
Calmness. The answer is A, calmness. So the page on 340 is when Ji-chan and Ba-chan are at home after Ji-chan has been out on his rounds. So they're just sitting at home, very relaxed, and they're very happy actually. So they're about to go and make more candy to have so that Ji-chan can continue doing his rounds. Oh. Okay, number 10. Can you tell me the answer, please? Why does Ji-chan's wife turn off the television at the end of the story? F, she wants to talk to Ji-chan. G, she is going to make candy for Ji-chan. H, she thinks Ji-chan does not like television. Or I, she is going to ask Ji-chan to tell her a story. Katie, what do you think?
I think she thinks Ji-chan does not like television.
No, not quite. So Ba-chan doesn't turn the TV off at the end because she thinks that Ji-chan doesn't like TV. That's not it. Not quite. So if you have a look at the end of the story, Ba-chan says something before she turns off the TV. And that lets us know what she's about to do. Mooney, what do you think?
She wants to talk to Ji-chan.
No, not that she wants to talk to Ji-chan. Not quite. So she says something right before she turns off the television. She asks him a question that gives us a clue into what she might be doing. Kaki?
He is going to ask Ji-chan to tell her a story.
Not quite. So the only answer left here is G. So the answer here is G. She is going to make candy for Ji-chan. On page 341, this is the conversation they have, okay? I see you had a busy day, she said. It was a good day. Will you be going out tomorrow? Yes. And the day after? Then Ba-chan said, you need more sweets. So Ba-chan is his wife and she cooks all the candy. She's the person that makes them the candy to give to the little kids who listen to the stories. She said, you need more sweets? And he said, that would be very nice. Can you make twice the usual amount? She then says, I'll see if I have enough sugar, she said, and she shut the television off. She turns off the TV because she's getting up to go and make Ji-chan some candy for his rounds. So that's how we would have come to that answer. So there are a lot of clues here, starting from then you need more sweets. So this part lets us know that Ba-chan is going to go and make candy for Ji-chan. Okay, today we are learning about cause and effect. Fred, please read all of this page for me.
One event in a story makes another happen. The first event is the cause. The event that happened as a result is the effect. Noticing causes and effects will help you see why things happen in a story.
Lovely reading, Fred. Thank you. So, guys, we are no stranger to cause and effect. We've learned about it many, many times before. One event in a story makes another happen. This is what we call cause and effect. The first event that happens is the cause, and the second event that happened as a result of the first is the effect. When we can pick up on causes and effects, we will help. It'll help us understand why things happen in a story. Have a look here. Here is a cause and effect. The cause is what, and the effect is what. Okay, Jenny, what do you think?
I think it is snow so people can make snowman.
Good girl. Perfect answer. It snowed, so people made a snowman, or a person made a snowman. So we can look out for signal words, things like so and because and as a result of. We can look out for those signal words to help us understand causes and effects. So let's have a look at some causes and effects from our story, Kamishibai Man. First, what I'd like to do is I'd like to review the story and just remind ourselves what happened. Please read this page for me, Haling.
In Japan, an old man named Yi Chan decides to go on his rounds after taking many years off. At the beginning of his journey, everything seems familiar. But when he arrived in the city, he becomes confused. There are more cars and tall buildings. The park have been replaced with shops and restaurants.
Good girl. So in Japan, an old man decides that he wants to go back and tell his stories after taking a lot of time off. When he is cycling through the countryside, he's humming an old song that his mom used to sing to him. He's happy. He's saying, "Good morning, old bridge." But the closer he gets to the city, he becomes confused. Everything looks different. There are lots of cars, there are lots of tall buildings, parks have been demolished, and now there are shops and restaurants. Can you take over reading for me, please? Nancy.
Chan parks his bikes and begins to set up. He props up a stage and checks the story cards inside. He takes out 2 wooden blocks and bangs them, calling for the children to come listen to his stories. The story then flashes back to when children were happy to see the Kamish by me.
Lovely. Okay, and Simon, can you read this page for me?
Sure, Chan tells stories.
Ji-chan.
Chan tells stories, and most of the children go home happy. On his way home one night, Chan saw a crowd gathered in front of a shop, watching blurry, colorless pictures on the television. Before long, people had televisions in their homes. Fewer children came out to listen to Children's stories.
Ji-chan's.
Chan's stories. Eventually, just one boy showed up. Chan told him his story. That was his last day as the Kambashi man.
Kamishibai Man. Good job. So this is the story that Ji-chan tells. He goes to a block that he used to work in. He takes out his 2 wooden blocks and clacks them together. And then he begins to tell a story that maybe no one's heard before. Instead of telling the story of little 1-inch or the boy who was born from a peach, Ji-chan tells this stories. He tells the story of his life. And then, can you please read this page for me, Ruby?
While Ji-chan had been
Reminiscing.
people who grew up listening to his stories recognized him. Soon a large group of people had gathered around him, just like the old days. When Ji-chan got home that night, he saw himself on
TV. It turns out that that day long ago wasn't his last day as the Kamishibai man.
Good job. So that's just a quick review of the story that we read yesterday, all about the Kamishibai man and Ji-chan and his life. So let's talk about some of the causes and effects that we have in that story. Have a look. So often when we use cause and effect, we use a graphic organizer that looks like this. One cause here, usually when we talk about causes and effects, we use a graphic organizer that looks like this. Okay, so it's a bit of a flow chart. We put our cause in here and we draw an arrow to show what the effect is. Can you please read this cause for me, Cherry?
Yi-chan misses doing his rounds as a Kamishibai man.
Lovely. Okay, what do we think the effect of this is? Because he misses doing his rounds, what does he do? What is the effect? Okay, let's go with Zweeming.
The effect is he didn't talk for 3 days.
The effect is he didn't talk for 3 days. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. You know what, Zooming? Absolutely. You are right. That is an effect. So he misses doing his rounds and he doesn't speak for 3 days because he's obviously thinking about it so much. That is correct. It's not the effect that I have, but it's absolutely correct, Zooming. Well done. Can anyone think of another effect of Ji-chan missing doing his rounds? Daisy, what do you think?
He decided to go to the city again.
Good girl. Well done, Daisy. So Zweeming said an effect is that he didn't speak for 3 days. That is absolutely an effect of this. Also, another effect is that he goes back to the city to do more rounds. So Ji-chan misses doing his rounds, and an effect of this is that he decides to go back to the city to start being a Kamishibai man again. Really good job, Daisy. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Can you please read this cause for me? Let's go for Sa.
The city has grown larger and busier.
Good job. Okay, the city has grown larger and busier. So if a city is bigger and larger, what effect might this have? So there's more than one effect you can have here, guys. Nuna, what do you think? So the city has grown larger and busier. And as an effect of the city growing, there are now more. What do we have more of? Yeah, absolutely. So if there are more citizens, what else will there be more of? Good. Okay. Kaki, can you tell me what you wrote in the group chat?
Shops and fruit.
Good. Shops and food. Katie, can you tell me what you said in the group chat?
Buildings.
Buildings, good. And Fred, can you tell me what you said in the group chat?
Restaurants.
Restaurants, good job. Well done, guys. So basically, because the city has grown larger and busier, the city now has more traffic, rude drivers, shops, and restaurants. Oh, and Mooney's typed in the group chat, less trees. Yes, absolutely, Mooney. So the city has more traffic, rude drivers, shops, and restaurant, and the city has less trees and parks and nice areas. It's become very, very metropolitan. So we've got lots of buildings, lots of shops, lots of rude drivers, lots of restaurants. Good job, guys. Really good job. Okay, next, have a look here. This cause is the TV is invented. So in this story, one of the biggest problems in this story in the middle is that the television is invented. So what is the effect? Okay, Nancy, what do you think?
I think that there are less customers to go visit the Kamishibai man because people are all getting their eyes on the screen like we are right now.
Very good. Well done. Everyone is super excited to see the TV. Well done, Nancy. On that page in our story, I think it's page 324, you can see that everyone is gathered around this blurry, colorless TV because back in the olden days when TV was first invented, TV didn't have color. TV was just black and white, and it wasn't clear like your screens are now. It was black and white and a bit blurry. So when the TV was invented, the effect of this is that everyone is very excited to see it. Have a look now. We're going to reverse the way we've been doing this. We're going to look at the effect and think about what the cause is. So my next effect is no more children come out to listen to Ji Chan, which is a very sad part of the story. What is the cause? Ask yourself why. We have our effect. To find the cause, we need to ask why. Why did no more children come out to listen to Ji Chan? Okay, Ha-Ling, what do you think the cause is here?
I think the cause is everyone watch the TV.
Good girl, well done. Basically, the TVs are keeping the children at home. Nobody wants to come out and listen to his stories because they're all so preoccupied with their screens. And it's a very sad moment in our story. Okay, have a look at this effect. Ji Chan is sad and stops being a Kamishibai man. Why is Ji Chan sad and why does he stop being a Kamishibai man? Katie, go ahead.
No more children going to listen to Ji Chan.
Very good. Well done. The children stop coming to hear his stories. Everyone's staying inside, watching TV, and this makes him really sad because everyone's watching TV, no one is coming to hear his stories. So there's a series of causes and effects in this story, as you can see. Okay, have a look here, guys. This is our last. Oh no, we have two more. He is happy again, and he is Kamishibai man. Why? What causes him to be happy again? Okay, Simon, what do you think?
Everyone come to listen to his story.
Great, good job. Basically, everyone recognizes him. Everyone starts gathering around him as he's reminiscing and telling his life story. And everyone's recognizing him and listening to him. And when he's finished, even the poor boy, the one that was always alone, he shouts out, "Hey, that poor boy was me." So everyone recognizes him, even though they're all adults now. They're bankers and waitresses and housewives. The children that he used to tell the stories to, they're not children anymore. They're fully grown adults with their own lives and their own children and their own jobs. Very good, Simon. Okay, last one. This is the very last one we'll do for today. Effect. Ji Chan is featured on the news. Featured means that he's shown on the news. What is the cause? So remember, when you're finding the cause, ask yourself the question why. Nuna?
People put cameras to put on the TV.
Good job, Nuna. Well done. The cameraman takes pictures of Ji Chan. So we learned that this cameraman, he comes out of the crowd, he's taking pictures of Ji Chan, and that is how Ji Chan ended up on the television, which is quite ironic because he doesn't really like the television. He's not bothered about being on TV. He doesn't worry or want to be famous. He just wants to tell his stories time and time again. Okay, very good job, guys. Well done. Okay, now what we're going to do for the last 5 minutes is we're going to have a look at some cause and effect questions on Bamboozle, okay? Again, we're going to have boys and girls. As you can see, I don't have any numbers, so if you want to pick a box, you have to describe what kind of dog you want to pick. Then there's going to be a sentence, and you have to tell me if it is a cause or an effect. Simon, you're going first. Pick a dog, please.
The dog who is standing on a pizza.
Okay, good choice. Oh no, maybe not so much of a good choice. Lose 25 points. Oh,
I get that unlucky.
oh, it's okay. Don't worry, Simon. All right, over to the girls. Cherry, pick a dog, please.
I picked the dog that's dancing.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, good job. Okay, we went to the grocery store because we needed sour cream, eggs, and milk. Cherry, what is the key word here that shows a cause and effect?
Because.
Good girl, well done. Awesome work. You just won 15 points for your team. Okay, boys, back to you. I'm going to have Zuiming. Zuiming, describe a dog to me, please.
The dog that lives the white.
The strong chihuahua down here. Okay, Zuiming. My yard was filled with limbs from my trees because it was so windy yesterday. What is the effect in this sentence?
It was so windy yesterday.
Not quite. So, because it was windy yesterday, my yard was filled with limbs from my trees. So, the cause is the wind blowing, and the effect is your yard or your garden being filled with branches or limbs from my trees. Oh, good. Good guess, though. Okay, back over to the girls. I choose Ruby.
I choose the dog that is spinning.
Is spinning. Okay. Okay. Joel was getting very angry and frustrated because none of his good deeds were being recognized as good. What is the cause? So, a good deed means you're doing something nice.
None of his good deeds were being recognized as good.
Good job. Well done. Oh, so this is wrong. This answer is wrong, guys. So, Ruby, you are correct. The cause is that none of his good deeds are being recognized, and the effect is he's getting very angry. So, someone's made a mistake here. So, you got that correct. Okay, guys. So, the boys played 2 games, the girls played 2 games, and the girls win today with 30 points. Good job, girls. I wanted to have longer to play this game, but unfortunately, we ran out of time a little bit. So, your homework is ta-da! You have some pages like this where it's all about cause and effect. You read the paragraph and you answer the questions based on causes and effect. All right, guys, have a wonderful day and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.